let's get set up to do the next assignment, which is found on page 5 of your workbook. Copy the Schumann and raise the pitches 1/2 step. So, lots of things to learn here. I'm going to begin by setting up my score. I'm going to use the grand staff. There are a couple ways this can be done. Okay, now, here is the first issue. We're going to leave the title blank because the title has a special symbol in it that Finale won't put in for us. So I'm going to leave that blank, and we'll learn how to do that when we get the document set. Here we're going to change this to common time because it is in common time. The example has a tempo marking, nicht schnell, which means not fast. You can put that tempo marking in here, but if you select this box, it will not only put the tempo marking, but it'll put the tempo indication, and we don't want the tempo indication on the score. So I'm going to do it a different way. Also, the tempo is in bold type, and Finale doesn't do that default. So here is our new document, and there is an old version. Okay, so I'm going to move some of this stuff closer to me. The first thing that we want to accomplish is there's a problem. The Finale defaults putting 3 measures on one line. We want this all on one line. And so I'm going to set this up so that it looks the way that I want it to look. So if your main tool palette isn't there, you can check under the window menu and select that. Sometimes if it was minimized by a previous person, it won't appear. So there's 2 ways you can do this. We need to select all measures. I can draw a box around it, or I can just hit Command and A and it will do that for me. The next step is to find under the Utilities menu the Fit Measures dialog box. Set that so that it locks the layout with 4 measures per system. And now you're ready to do some notation. But before that, we always save. So we want to save a copy on the desktop. Next, I want to set the title up and get everything done first so that I can work more efficiently. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that Finale puts here, and I'm going to do this rather using the text tool. Now this menu here will allow you to change the font, will allow you to change the size of the font, the style of the font. And if you look carefully at what you're seeing here, you have italics. The tempo marking is in bold type. And the size of the font defaults to 12. So we're going to begin by changing the size of the font because we want our title a little larger. I'm going to select 14. Now you can see that it's been increased. You can also increase your font by using these shortcut keys. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by copying the title. Now, we have an A with the 2 marks above it. To put that A in, we're going to use the text tool, Inserts, and then Symbol. If you increase the size of this and scroll down, you'll find that lowercase a. It turns out to be, I believe it's 138, 133. Obviously, I can't see anything. There it is, 138. So there it is. Now, all of this is I'm going to put some text on a second line so that it's not so long. Okay, so here I'm going to change the style to italic. And then when you want to change it back, you have to change it back. But once again, you can memorize these shortcut keys to make this easier. There's a lot of commas, so be sure that you be aware of them. It's easy to miss one. And periods. Okay, so now that this is set up, I'm going to adjust this so that it looks like it's more or less in the center. Next, my tempo mark. It's Nick Schnell. I'm going to set, once again, my style, in this case, to bold. There we go. I'm going to line this up so that it's over the time signature. Once again, I'm going to save my document at this point. I'm going to do that by hitting Command and S, and it will just simply update it. Alright, time for simple entry. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to get you started. Using the keypad, I'll begin entering these quarter notes. I can increase their pitch by hitting the plus sign. That's the fastest way to do this. Now, the reason why the D did not receive the sharps because it's already back here. We don't need to reposition a sharp because sharps apply to all instances thereafter of that same pitch. Here I have the bass clef from the grand staff. By using the clef tool, as we learned before, we can change that clef to the treble clef. Be sure that you use the correct treble clef. Notice that there are several other versions that are not the same.